Okay, so I am audible. Yeah, okay. So let's start today's session. In previous session, we covered about some conditional statements topic like if else. So today we started the next topic like loops. Okay, so looping statement allows repeated a block of code as long as condition is true. Okay, so the loop is used when the number four means the loop is four types in Java, like for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for each loop. Okay, so first for loop, like the for is used when the number is iteration is known. Okay, so first I will share my screen. Okay, so Java for loop. Yeah, loops. Loops can execute a block of code as long as specific condition is reached or a specific condition is true. Okay, loops are handy because they save times, reduce errors, and they make code more readable. Okay, so first is okay Java while loop. Okay, the while loops throw a block of codes as long as specified condition is true. Okay, so there is the syntax of the while loop. First we write the while, then we wrote the condition in the brackets, and under the curly braces we write our actual logic code. Okay, like over this. Okay, we will try this example. Okay, print 1 to 4 numbers. Hmm, Okay, so this is our main method. The main method is like a heart of program. Okay, heart of our program. Okay, initialize a variable here. Okay, the while loop is used when the condition is checked before the execution. Okay, block of execute. Checked before the block of code is executed. Okay, here the condition when I greater than equal to 5. Okay, and use the increment variable here. Okay, let's save it and open CMD. Okay, compile our program. We get the errors here because we made the mistakes. Okay. Now our program is well without any errors. Okay, our program is compiled successfully. Then okay, sorry. Okay, so there is the output as accepted. Okay, why the count? Because yeah, okay, we don't need this. Okay, so the output is look like this. When I replace the condition here, okay, now I change the condition. Currently the output is look like this, but now the output is only 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like compile this program and execute it. Okay, because here we change the condition. Okay, now I will explain you using a dry run. Okay, first the value of I is 1. Okay, so here the condition check. Okay, first the value is 1. Now here check the condition. The condition is I greater than 5. The value of I is 1. So that means 1 greater than 5. So the condition is true. Okay, then execute it. So print 1. Okay, so first print 1, and so here we use the print ln. Okay, so it jump on the next new line. Okay, then the value is incremented of I. The value of I is increment means the value of 1 is become 2. Okay, so the loop start as well. Again check the condition. So now the value of I is 2. Okay, so again condition true because 2 less than 5. Okay, condition is true. So the breakpoint hits this. Okay, then the value of I is become 2. Then the here print 2 here. Wait, there is the previous value. Sorry. Okay, again our code jump on the incremented step. Okay, now the value is become 3. Okay, and go on the top condition. Okay, okay. Now the first now the value is I equal to 3, and here the condition is now look like this, but the condition is again true because 3 less than 5. Okay, then true. So it jump on printing statement and it print again 3. Then it jump on the increment step. Then 3 incremented into 4. Okay, then I become 4. Then while loop again check the condition. Okay, so now the condition is again true because 5 less than 5, 4 less than 5. Okay, condition is true. So here print the value of I is 4. So again the increment step is execute and 4 become 5. 4 plus 1. Okay, it means plus 1. So the value of I is become 5. So it jump again check the condition. Okay, so now the condition is look like this: 5 less than 5. So here the condition is not true because 5 equal to 5. Okay, so the condition is false. Okay, so condition is false. So, so it terminates the loop. Okay, it jump on the loop and run this part again. Okay, run this that part. The condition is the loop is end. Okay, so there is the while loop. Okay, so the next is the for loop. Mm, right. Let's see some example if we have. Okay, we don't have any example. Do while loop. Okay, or second loop is the do while loop. The do while loop is a variant of a while loop. Okay, this loop will execute the the code block once before checking if the condition is true. Then it will repeat the loop as long as the condition is true. Okay, this is the syntax of the do while loop. Okay, first execute the code, then check the condition. Okay, the example below the do while loop, the loop will always be executed at least once, even if the condition is false. Okay, that's the point. The loop will be executed at once, even if the condition is false. Okay, because the code block is execute before the condition is tested. Okay, the code statement execute first, then check the condition. Okay, so if the condition is false, it only repeated once. Okay, if the condition mm, before checking if condition is true, then it will be repeat the loop as long as the condition is true. Okay, and the loop will always be executed at once, even if the condition is false, because the code blocks is executed before the condition is tested. Okay, first execute code, then check the condition. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so first go on the code. Okay, always remember the Java file is saved with the .java extension. .java. Okay. Otherwise, the file name is not working. And when you save the Java file, first ensure that your class name and your always ensure your class name and your file name is same. Okay, here we initialize the variable. First, we declare a variable and then initialize the variable equal to 1. Okay, now start the do while loop. Okay, do. Okay, so our program is ready. Okay, there is the program. First, I will execute, then I will explain you. Okay, save. Okay, to Java. Okay, our program executed and give the response is as well as good. Okay, so I will explain you. First, we initialize the variable. Okay, we started by setting the counter variable to 1. Okay, then do block, then we create make a do block. Okay, the do block is always executed at last once, regardless of the condition. Inside the block, we print the current value of counter, then incremented in it by 1. Okay, and in the while, okay, after the code inside the do block executes, the while condition like counters less than equal to 5 is checked. If the condition is true, the loop will continue. If the condition is false, okay, the loop stops. Okay, now the program will print the value of the counter from 1 to 5 else loop continues to run until the counter exceeds 5. Okay, so then I will change the condition like this. Okay, and execute the program. Okay, like this. Okay, so in the while loop, we first check the condition, then execute the whole code. But in the do while loop, we execute the statement, then we check the condition. So if the condition is false, then once a loop is started. Okay, wait a minute, I will give you a example. The condition is equal to 5. Then save it and compile the Java program. Okay, the condition is false, but the statement is printed once. Yeah, because first execute the this part. Okay, so we okay, let's make a again. Okay, again make an example for it. Okay, compile. We take a variable again. Okay, compile it and execute it. Okay, in this example, we have an integer variable count. Okay, we have an integer variable count which initialized to 5. Okay, the do while loop executes the code block first. Okay, this code block, this. Okay, so the do while loop execute the code block first, then checks the condition. Okay, first execute it, then check the condition that the zero count less than 0. Okay, since the condition is false, the loop will run once before checking the condition. Okay, inside the loop, it prints this will run at least once, even though the condition is false. Okay, after the loop, the program continues to the next line, printing like okay, we made a system output println. Okay, so there is the overall output. Okay, inside the loop, it prints this will run at least once, even though the condition is false. After the loop, the program continues to the next line, printing this will always print. Okay, when you run this program, the output will be like this. Okay, when we run, execute it, then we get this. Okay, The do while loops executes the code or block at least once before checking the condition. Okay, even though the condition is false, the loop runs once. Okay, and the program proceeds to execute the rest of the code outside the loop. Okay. Okay, so the next is the for loop. Okay, go on the for loop. Okay, so there is some exercises for loop statements. So I will prefer you to that you explore them. Okay. When you know exactly how many times you want to loop through a block of code, use for loop instead of a while loop. Okay. There is the syntax of for loop. Okay, the statement once here you initialize your value variable. Okay, and in the statement 2 here you write your conditions, and statement 3 here you write the increment decrement variables, and here the block of code block to be executed. Okay, the statement 1 is executed once before the execution of the block of code. Okay, it execute once time, only one time before the execution of the code block. And the statement 2 define the condition for executing the code block. Okay, and now the statement 3 is is every executed every time after the code block has been executed. Okay, a for loop in Java is control flow statement that allows you to execute a block of code repeatedly for a specific number of iterations. It particularly useful when you know in advance how many times you want to execute a statement or a block of statement. Okay, first we make an example, simple example. Okay, the for loop is used when the number is iteration is known. Okay, first we make a class, then save the Java file. Okay, here we declare a main method, then for okay, statement 1 declare initialize a variable here. Okay, and statement 2 make a condition, and statement 3 is increment, then the block of code. Yeah. First we input the wrong class name. Okay, so that's the given error file not found. Okay, then now our program is print successfully. It's 0 to 5. Okay, please wait a minute. I will come. Wait a minute, just. Okay, so I'm back. Let's continue the class. Okay, so the for loop is very important. So let's introduce it in brief. Okay. Okay, so a for loop in Java is a control flow statement that's allow you to execute a block of code repeatedly for specific number of iteration. Okay, it particularly used when you know in advance how many times you want to execute or a block of statement. Okay, the syntax of a for loop is like this. This is the syntax. Okay, okay, and here we initialize it. We also write the code look like this. Okay, okay. We also do this. Like this Java C and Java result same as there. Okay, here we initialization. Okay, this step is called initialization. This step is executed only once at the beginning of the loop. Okay, it is typically used to it is used to declare and initialize a loop control variable. Okay, for example, int I equal to 0, initialize a variable I to 0. Okay, and the next is this is the called condition. Okay, this is a Boolean expression that is Boolean means true or false. Okay, this is a Boolean expression that is evaluated before each iteration of the loop. If the condition evaluates to true, the loop body is executed. If it evaluates to false, the loop terminates. Okay, loop terminates. If the evaluates to false, the loop terminates. Like for example, I less than 5. Checks if I is less than 10. Sorry, 5. I is less than 5. Okay. So the step of executed after each iteration. Okay. The step of the step is executed after each iteration of the loop body. It typically modifies the loop control variable, usually by increment or decrement it. For example, I plus plus increments the value of I by 1 after each iteration. Okay, and there is the loop body. Okay, this is the block of code that will be executed each time the loop iterates as long as the condition is true. Okay, and when I remove the 5, now output is look like this. But when I remove the equal to from the condition, then the output is look like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4. Okay, so the loop initialized to 0. Okay, the loop is initialized to the 0, and the condition I less than is checked. If it is true, the loop body executes. Okay, after each iteration, I is incremented by 1. I is incremented by 1, 1 plus plus. Oh, means I plus plus. Okay, the loop continues until I is no longer less than 5. Okay, after the 50 iteration, when I become 5, after the fifth iteration, when I become 5, the condition I less than 5 evaluates to false and the loop terminates. Okay, so for loop is a efficient way to iterate a specific number of items, making it a fundamental construct in Java programming for tasks like traversing like arrays, performing retrieving calculation, and more. Okay, let's take some more example of for loop because the for loop is very important. Okay, so like another example of a for loop is in Java, then calculate the sum of the first 10 positive integers. Okay. Mm, this is like this. Then wait a minute. Okay, this is like this. Okay, so make a variable first int sum equal to 0. Okay, Okay, there is the logic. Okay, so here add the current value of I to sum. Okay, add the current value of I to sum. Printing the value of sum.